Good morning, students. Welcome to online teaching. Our today's quote is try until you succeed. Keeping this quote in mind, we will start and continue with our lesson in geography, lesson 4, air pressure. Students, open your textbook to page number 17 and compare figure 4.2a, that is temperate zone, is also shown over here, and figure 4.2b, pressure belts and planetary winds. And you're going to answer the can you tell questions below after comparing the both of the images. Which pressure belt is mainly found in the tropics? Equatorial. Low pressure belts are mainly found in the tropics. Tropics are shown here in this image. With which pressure belts are the polar winds associated? In which temperate zones are they observed? The polar winds are associated with polar high pressure belts and sub-low polar pressure belts. What could be the reason? What could be the reason behind a low pressure belts in the tropics? Students, the low pressure belts in the tropics is formed because of high temperature. As the temperature is high, the pressure is low. With which pressure belts are the winds in the temperate zone associated? Here you can see the temperate zone. You'll have to tell me which pressure belt is associated with it. The mid-latitudinal high pressure belts are associated. You are going to give me the latitudinal extent of the pressure belts. Latitudinal extent of the low pressure belts between 50 degree north south parallel, and the sub-low pressure belts between 55 to 65 degree north south. So this is what we have understood about the pressure belts after understanding the image. Now how are these pressure belts formed on the earth? The heat that we receive from the sun is uneven. In different places a different amount of heat is given. Hence the temperature is also not equal at the pole and at the equator. Equator is the hottest and at the pole you find it coolest climate. Now we are going to understand the equatorial pressure belts over here. The sun rays are perpendicular between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, the sun rays are perpendicular at these places, so the temperature is higher in this region. Hence the air in the region gets heated faster and it becomes lighter and moves in the sky. This process continuously happens to create low pressure belts. So here is the image of the low pressure belts. Here you can see equatorial low pressure belts. Here see the reading, sun rays fall vertically throughout the year, high temperature, feeble winds, 5 degree north and 5 degree south, low pressure belts are created. Mid-latitudinal high pressure belts, heat becomes lighter as it starts ascending and it reaches at a higher altitude, that is height, in the polar regions, so in the north and the south. And due to the temperature being low at high altitudes, that is height, it cools down faster, it becomes cold faster and it starts getting heavier. This heavy air starts descending, that is falling down, in both the hemisphere, giving the temperature of 25 degree and 35 degree parallel pressure belts and the parallel latitudes of the hemisphere. Hence the region does not have rainfall but a hot desert and the earth hot desert on the earth are found in this region. That is a mid-latitude high pressure belts. Here are the different images of the pressure belts of the world: the polar easterlies, westerlies, northeast trade winds, southeast trade winds, westerlies, and the polar easterlies. Subpolar pressure belts. Due to the Earth's curvature, the area between the two parallel becomes lesser, and this gives less friction of air, and the air is thrown out due to this friction and the Earth's rotational movement. Of the low pressure belts. Polar high pressure belts. In both the polar regions, temperature below 0 degrees Celsius is throughout the year and the air is cold. As a result, the pressure belts gets formed and it's called low pressure belts. Generally, they occupy 80 to 90 degree parallels. Duration and the intensity varies according to the hemisphere. As a result, you see the location of this place is depending on the heat varies according to their order. What will be the effects of this? The origin of winds. We get winds because of pressure belts. Generation of storms. Storms are created due to pressure belts. Convection type of rain. Even rain is affected because of pressure belts. Air pressure affecting the breathing activities too. Now what is isobar? Here is the image of an isobar. You can see this image of the isobar. Isobar is a line that joins places of equal pressure on the map. Here the places which have equal pressure, with the help of this line, which is known as isobar, the places of equal pressure is joined. Thank you.